All right. That was weird. That was weird. Yeah. Wow. That was crazy. That was crazy. Like my sound was coming in for like 5 minutes, and I had just started for like 5 minutes too, or like 3 or 4 minutes. But all right, here we go, y'all. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure this thing is good. All right. Let me pull this article up too. We're going to read through this article. All right. 1 second. I'm going to be on here for maybe like 45 minutes today. That's why I jumped on StreamYard so we can rock this thing out. Yeah, I think I had like 10, 10 of y'all coming up in here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up there. In and out. No, it works there. Okay. But all right, y'all, welcome back to another live stream. Interesting news, man. So I saw this article today while I was pulled up at the light, pulled up this article on my Facebook feed, and it says Zhang Weili is training for Rose Namajunas rematch. So my reaction was, what? I was like, did Dana already make his choice? I was like, did he already go in and say this is what's happening? Well, apparently not. This is an article by South China Morning Post, and I mean, if you're familiar with their articles, they kind of twist the words up a little bit. I know most media platforms do that. No, most media platforms, they always twist the words up, but they do that a lot with their articles. So their title makes it a little misleading that Zhang Weili's already preparing for a confirmed rematch, but it's not. Zhang Weili is just in the midst of getting back to the gym, working on stuff, trying to develop herself as a fighter. You know, she's still in the middle of working now. Matter of fact, let's pull up this article here. Yeah, Zhang Weili's returned to training and is talking to up a rematch with Rose Namajunas. So basically, she's in the midst of training to try to convince Dana White that, look, I'm back, I'm ready, let's go. And let me get this IG post here, because 4 days ago she posted this on IG. This video of her rolling on the mat. Said, after a period of rest, start training for my next fight. Champion Rose is very strong. She's a real ace. I need to work harder and believe that our second fight will be a very good fight. Playing against the best is something I've always enjoyed doing. That's what friends want to see too. I'm assuming she means fans. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what she means there. Yeah, that's what the fans want to see. That's probably what she means. That was just a bad translation there. But yeah, she posted that 4 days ago. So she seems like she's more in the mind frame of getting right back in there with Rose. Like, I know seems like it would be wise for her to stay active, maybe get another fight, but it seems like she's going straight for the gold again, right? Let me check this chat. I see y'all been typing while I was setting up. So Robot Chicken said, "Let's go." Brian King said, "Where you at?" Oh yeah, I was getting it ready, but I didn't even know the sound was out. Mary Thomas said, if Zhang gets a rematch, that's kind of weird. Yeah, it is. It is going to be kind of weird if she gets the rematch, man, because I still don't feel like she's ready right now. It just seems like so much was going on in between that time of from now going to the day after the rematch. I mean, the day after the first fight, there was so much change in her character. And that's what happens when you experience your first loss, I guess. So TJJ said, I suggest Zhang take Andrade approach, fight every 4 months. Waiting for Rose could be a long wait. And I say this is a huge Rose fan. Yeah, for Zhang, like I said, she's in training now, and it seems like her mind frame is to go straight for the title shot again. It would be wise for her to just come back and fight somebody in the top 10, you know, and just polish her skills up, build herself up back mentally. But going back into a Rose fight, I think that's premature, especially from just her reaction to losing. Andrade gonna whoop Kevin. It's gonna be a good fight though. Mr. Lee said, "I do love the intro music." Podcast says all doesn't deserve a rematch. No, yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think, I don't think she's ready for that rematch yet. You know, and just looking at some of her past actions, and some of the past statements she's made, it doesn't really seem like she's ready for that. Um, let's see, what else did she say in this article? Well, they didn't say too much. They just said that she was getting ready for this rematch, going off of what they seen. I mean, her latest post shows her hitting the mats and hitting the mitts a little bit too. I mean, she's in there. Seems like she's really been doing some more improved drills with her boxing. Her striking seems a little bit better. She's keeping her hands up now. Her offense looks a little bit smarter, but hey, that's just the training. We don't know about an actual fight. To me, I think she should take another contender fight, just so we can really see how much changes, how much improvement she's made. And I think that's the one thing about Zhang. Like, maybe mentally she hasn't really found that humbling bone in her. That humbling bone where you can say, well, let me take another fight. Let me go back and work on some stuff, and then we'll come back and fight Rose. But she wants to go right for it, because I know that knockout keeps replaying in her mind over and over. But it came from a mistake. That wasn't a fluke. A lot of people feel like, well, it's kind of 50-50. There's people that feel like it was a fluke, and then there's people like me that feel like it was an actual mistake, a technical mistake on her part. She took the approach of coming in hands down, a little too relaxed, and being predictable. Because, like I said, what she did in that fight, you seen her doing many fights. The same way she shifts her hips to duck a low kick. Rose, they seen it over and over. They watch tapes. They watch tapes many times. She's always shifting her hip the same way to duck a low kick. So Rose, they played into that. I mean, they made her play into that. They set it up, made it look like a leg kick was coming, and boom, that was it. Simple as that. It was a quick execution on our Rose and their team's part. They probably didn't know it was coming that early, but when it did, it just shocked everybody. Sometimes exposing somebody, it can come quicker than you expect. Just because it comes quicker doesn't mean it's a fluke. Let's see. Mary says Rose need to hurry up and pick an opponent before this fall. She was already talking about the winner of Carleon, so why not stick to it? Don't really understand why she should consider her. Yeah, I think right now she should take it, and I think that Dana, he needs to move ASAP, because if she takes a Rose fight, if Carla takes the Rose fight, then that'll force Zhang Weili to take another opponent. Maybe fight on the same card against another opponent. That would be smart. If Carla acts, Rose acts, the matchmakers act right now and say, look, we're booking Rose and Carla this fall. It's done. So that way Zhang Weili can say, okay, well, I'm training. Well, give me another opponent. I'm ready because I did train. Well, I'm not saying Zhang's next fight shouldn't be a Rose rematch, but Rose's next defense doesn't have to be Zhang. Zhang's next fight. Hmm. Does it have to be next fight? You're not saying it shouldn't be a Rose rematch. I think it shouldn't. I think she should get another fight in between. I think that Zhang Weili should be fighting somebody else right now, while Rose fights, so they could fight on the same card. Yeah. Cole said, "How do you think a rematch would go if Weili fixes that? If Weili comes in a little bit more unpredictable, and she comes in with a smarter offense, and if she gets on the inside, I mean, I think the rematch could go her way. I think it could become more competitive, which I think the fight would have if she would have just had her hands up. You know, if she would have just had her hands up, I think that the fight would have been maybe playing out in her favor. Zhang Weili, that is. But who knows? Because it seems to me that Rose and her team, they really studied every little movement of Zhang Weili. So let's say if she was able to get past that first mistake that she makes, right? There's another mistake that Rose will probably be able to counter as well. Maybe if she rushes in, she might tag her as she rushes in. She tagged her on the outside, but she might tag her on the inside as well. Because Rose is a little bit more accurate. She's a lot more accurate than Joanna whenever it comes to, extending her punches and turning them over and committing to them. Joanna has that high work rate, rapid hands, fists flying. She's gonna pile up points on you, but Rose is gonna turn over the the more polished power punches. But I think if she was able to get past that first round and correct that one mistake, it might make the fight a little bit more competitive. And I think that, Zhang, if she could get her game going, could make it a rough and tough fight. But Rose looked like she had some size in there. Like she didn't come in there looking as slim as I thought she was. Like really like just skinny compared to Zhang Weili. She had some size in that fight. Mary said, "Come think of it, Joanna rematch would be much better." Yeah, I think so. Joanna's rematch, that would be better. Carla would lose to Rose now. It's possible. I mean, I'm not saying, but I think that's going to be interesting. Yeah, getting that defense right is going to be a big key, man. That's going to be a big key to making making the fight grueling like we thought it would be, which is what I thought she had. I thought that she would have had a smarter approach in attacking Rose Namajunas, not being on the outside. Like that was the first thing I said in my keys to victory. You can't be on the outside of Rose and let her get her punches off like that. You can't let her extend her kicks. You can't let her use her length because that's her strength. Rose extending her length is how she commits to accurate punches. That was a big mistake. She stayed on the outside too long. Like you got to get going. Like she's got to be in the mid range or in the inside from round one to round five, or however long it takes. But let's see here. Yeah, that was it in that article. It just basically said that Zhang was trying to return to training, and she was trying to talk up this rematch. Uh, yeah, she was stopped in 78 seconds, and she felt like that wasn't a fair stoppage at first. I'm adding that wasn't in the article, but she said that wasn't a fair stoppage. And felt like she could have kept going, but that's what happens. Whether you were stopped in the first or the fifth is still a stoppage. I mean, the difference is if you got stopped in the fifth round, at least you tried. There's a point where you might have got worn down and got caught, but the first round, it's like everything you trained for is out the door because you couldn't even get going, right? That's what makes that so much more painful. And I don't think she's gotten past that part. Like, you could dissect it all day. She can dissect it and say, oh man, like the referee stopped it. I was good. But every reaction she made was a hurt fighter where you got to go in there and save them. There was nothing you can, there's no way to slice that up any different. Yeah. Yeah. She, not necessarily, Carla is better protective than Zhang, and she has the slight strength advantage, and the rest of Rosa stay away and outpoint her all night. But I think Carla can get good shots. Yeah, I think Carla's striking has improved. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, the striking of Carla has improved over the past few years. It has gotten better. And yeah, she won't be on the outside hands down. I mean, she won't be on the outside hands down. She'll be a little bit more cautious. Okay. So let me pull up this IG here real quick. Let's see. What was her latest post? Zhang Weili. Let's take a look at her footage here. I'm not on. Yeah, I'm not OBS, so I can't pull up the clip here. Oh, let's see. Can I pull this clip up here? Hold on. No, I can't. Can't pull it up here. Hold on. Nope. All right. Yeah, Zhang Weili posted on her IG like 13 hours ago. A photo of her working her boxing. You know, um, she's hitting that body pad, not the armor, but the big pad, and she's working on her power punches, and she's keeping her hands up now. Working her feints. Working on her hooks. Looks like she's working to fight her way on the inside more so. Working her uppercuts, her left hooks look sharp. That's the thing. Like, her punches never really looked, amateur. Her attacks never really been amateur. There's just been like certain minor holes in her game. And it takes time to work on that. You got to get with the right striking and boxing coaches to improve that. Um, I'm just watching her footage now. Yeah, she has a nice uppercut, left hook, double left hook. Her dip, come up with a counter left hook. She's been working on some drills. Let's see. And she posted, everything will continue, begin to prepare for battle. I hope to make a little progress every day. So yeah, she's, working on stuff. She's really starting to, make some changes, make some improvements. And you can see that in her approach. But I don't know if it's going to be enough before. Let's see if she tries to get a rematch this year in 2021. I don't know if that's going to be enough time to, just change overnight for the next fight. What, people be posting some stupid comments on her. Well, not too many, just some people talking reckless every now and then on her IG. For the most part, everybody's positive, which I am too. I'm like, Zhang Weili, I mean, I like her as a fighter. Like, I like her dedication. I just wish that she would have taken more of a humble approach and just said, look, I got caught. I made a mistake, and we'll go back to the drawing board and we'll work. And if she took that approach from the jump, I would have said, yo, she does that, she'll come back ready for a rematch. Give her the rematch. But now I want to see her go back and change up some stuff, test herself out against another opponent, and then get the rematch. Because Carla, man, Carla looking, Carla's been in this, she's been in this thing for a minute. She's on her 5 fight winning streak. Carla has not had her chance for a title challenge. 7 years now, right? 7 years since she came near a championship fight. So it's time to get back to work. Yeah. So I hope um I hope these improvements that she's making helps her build up her confidence here and helps her take a much smarter approach when she eventually gets that Rose fight. Because the way she's looking here, I'm just still watching, this little playback. Her body type is good for this type of fighting style she's choosing. She's physically strong. You know, a little bit shorter than Rose and Joanna. It's good to take that type of approach where you can fight at a mid range and turn that power over and make your power known, even if you are the shorter fighter. Like Mike Tyson does. So you got to be able to punch your way in, but keep your hands up. What else did she post? Let's see here. Yeah, but looking at her ground game, she's been hitting the mat 5 days ago. Yeah, this was from 5 days ago. Sorry. Um, yeah, she took her time off, which was just a few weeks out, in about a month or so, and she's back to training. And I guess she's hoping that with this new look and this training, she's hoping to change this Dana White's mind to make him say, "Yeah, we got to make this rematch." Put Carla to the side, and we got to make this rematch. But I'm not feeling that. I'm like, Carla already did what she needed to do. Let Carla have this fight by the end of the year. Like, I kind of understand what you mean, Mary, when you say that Rose's next fight doesn't have to be Zhang, but Zhang Weili's next fight shouldn't have to be. It should be Rose. I know what you're saying. Like, it could be Rose, but not right away. It doesn't have to be right away. I'm just looking at some of her groundwork here. Sorry, y'all. Okay. All right. Let's see. This version of Rose will be much harder to beat, but still possible. Yeah, it's still possible. Like, people don't understand. Like, this version of Rose is still the same version that nearly got stopped in the second fight by Jessica Andrade. There's still some holes there that can be exposed by certain type of styles. Like Rose's approach and both Jessica Andrade's fight, you could still see that there was still some holes there. Like, a lot of people at the time, they were saying, "Oh, Jessica Andrade, she should have won that second fight. If it was 5 rounds, she'd have won that second fight." You know, but all of a sudden she's invincible now. But no, she's still that same Rose from that fight. It's just that Zhang Weili took a different approach than Andrade. I think if Zhang Weili gets moving early, doesn't stay on the outside, and she closes that distance, you'll see a similar fight to Namajunas Andrade 1 and 2. You know, might be her getting pieced up for a bit, but when she closes in and she uses that strength and she gets those body punches going, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Like I said in this clip I'm watching, she's keeping her hands up now. She's seems like she's taking that Andrade approach a little bit. She's shifting a lot, shifting her shoulders a lot. Side to side dip, left hook. Not a not a great deal to tell from these seconds, but she's showing you some of the keys that they're working on, and what she's looking like here is definitely gonna help her in that fight. Oh yeah, man. I was actually watching some Murata fights today, man. That's a tough call. Like, cause Murata, she submits, she be submitting people. Verna, she be killing it. I was watching a lot of, I've been watching Verna for a while now, and Verna, she be submitting the hell out of people. She's a black belt in BJJ. Murata, she's not a black belt, but she's a solid wrestler that has that strength and intensity, and it can get her a lot of, it can get her, it gets her a lot of submission wins. Like, let me pull up Murata's record real quick, because Murata, like, she's not like this pure BJJ practitioner, but she has been submitting quite a few people. She's tough, man. She's tough, but she's also open. She's open to be submitted by, if you're one of the best, like Verna Jandaroba is. I think that if it does go to the ground and you get reckless with Verna, Verna can submit you just like that. Let's see. Yeah. Murata, she submitted, let's see, one, two, three, four. Yeah, she has about four submissions, but she's been submitted as well early in her career through Rising, because she can get kind of caught up as well sometimes, but Verna has never been submitted, so I think that if this fight goes to the ground, it will favor Verna. Verna has two losses to Carla and Mackenzie Dern. So Verna, I felt like she won the Mackenzie Dern fight, the Carla fight. That was just Carla showing her skill set, her strength, and her wrestling. Her jujitsu is almost on that same level. So I think if Murata took the Carla Esparza approach, she would win. But I don't think Murata is as smart as Carla yet. Like, Carla is much more experienced and much more polished. But the more and more I look at it, man, I'm like, yo, if this go to the ground, I'm favoring Verna, no doubt. Like, Verna, she's not getting submitted. Well, I won't say she's not, but I think that the possibility is low, because I think anything Murata brings, Jandaroba knows what's coming. She'll know what's coming. Don't be surprised if these two make it a striking match either, because Verna Jandaroba, she's been really trying to strike a little bit more in her fights too. Yeah, Murata's decent. Yeah, she is. Yeah, yeah. Well, 13-time wrestling champ isn't MMA, so I say decent because she's still not top 15. I'm not I'm not gonna overhype her either. I mean, she's good, but being a 13-time wrestling champ is not the same as being a champion in another organization for mixed martial arts. You know what I mean? Like, she has been submitted because of recklessness early in her career, like 4 or 5 years ago. But that's a good, those are good accolades, yeah. But that's not necessarily going to win you this fight. Black belt in BJJ, Verna Jandaroba, many submissions in MMA. That record alone is in mixed martial arts. So in a way that will overshadow 13-time wrestling champion for good reason. Let's see, Verna Jandaroba. How many people she submit? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 submission wins on her resume. I thought it was more. She's 16-2. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like 15 though. Carla should fight Rose and Zhang. Zhang should fight the winner of Rodriguez Dern after that fight. Hmm, that'd be kind of a long wait out. I know Carla and Rose they need to fight though. That fight needs to happen. They need to go ahead and make that fight happen. But yeah, man. Like I said, just want to come on here for a little bit and talk about Zhang Weili versus Rose, and her just getting back into the gym and training, what she's looked like. I mean, from the clips I'm seeing, it's hard to say like great improvements have been made. I mean, you see some improvements in her striking, but it's not like we're seeing everything. They got to post some of the best stuff, so Dana White is impressed, and more fans see it. So the more fans respond to it, Dana White will say, "I got to make it now." Because when you post stuff like this as a former champion, and the traffic on the post is high, then Dana White, he's looking at that too. He's like, man, I got to capitalize now because it seems like fans really, really, really want this. So if she posts this up and other MMA fighters start responding, they say, oh yeah, Zhang is back. Zhang is back. She needs this rematch. Make it happen. Dana White's gonna look at that as well, and then it's gonna kind of overshadow Carla Esparza, which sucks. But I mean, that's part of the game. So if she continues to post stuff like this, these type of improvements, these little improvements she's making, eventually Dana White is going to say, oh, I got to make it happen. She's ready. I mean, in our eyes, I still feel like um, I still feel like Carla is the perfect runner up for that title right now. So yeah, let's see here. Let's see. Mr. Lee said I watched my first bare knuckle boxing match, Sigala versus Starr. Yeah, I saw that fight. That fight was crazy, man. I mean, they came out they came out looking like two different people. I mean, they were throwing down in that fight. Oh, that fight was crazy. Yeah, I'm surprised ain't nobody lose teeth in that one. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Let's see, but what else? Yeah, no defense in that fight at whatsoever. Just all action, all out action. It's crazy. Yeah, that was crazy, man. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. I think yeah, the more it looks like the way Zhang starts to look, I could see Dana White, taking a left and saying she's got it, and then kind of pushing Carla to the side. I could see him doing something like that. Carla, he'll feel like, okay, yeah, she's on a 5-fight winning streak, but I can argue that this fight is bigger. That'll be his excuse. You know, that's why I say Rose, she need to make it known right now that's who she wants. That's who she needs to say, I want to fight next. Because Carla's already said it. If they both acknowledge it like Calvillo and Andrade did, shoot, we'll have a fight. We would have a fight. And I don't know if y'all ever saw that little clip somebody posted of Yan Zhanan's mistake that she made in the Rose fight. Like it was only like a 20-second clip just showing the mistakes that she makes and how Rose capitalized on it. Let me see, Rose and the mistake. I thought I saved it, but I can't find it. Well, everybody's kind of been posting videos on it. How Rose Namajunas KO Zhang Weili. So it's definitely been broken down to where it's not a fluke. Definitely that. But I just saw this one little clip and they just showed it back to back fights where she did the same thing, and when she did it with Rose, it was like boom. Oh yeah, here it is. It's like 1 minute. Let's see. Let me turn it down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, it was just a good move she made. Because her legs move when she dodges the leg kick, but her upper body stays in the same place. So Joanna, she actually capitalized and she did it. She did the same thing. Joanna's kick just wasn't as hard. And it was like when Joanna did it, let's see, it was later in yeah, it was like the second round. Yeah. Because she did rock Whaley with a good head kick. Yeah, hers wasn't as hard though. Like, because when Joanna did it, it was just like to get a kick off real quick. But when Rose did it, I think Rose already knew that when she does this, we can commit to it fully and it'll knock her out. So see, they already knew that it was a full on mistake and they said, we'll sit down on it and we can get her out of here with that. Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, even the way like she takes with her this approach from the outside, bouncing around the athleticism. Yeah, that's good. But like if your hands are never near your face to protect your chin, that's a big no no, even in boxing. That's a big no no. You can't stay on the outside like that and just expect to be able to get out of harm's way. Sometimes you're gonna have to pull back with your fists, near your chin so you won't get hit like that. Mm, 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 mm. But yeah, man, we'll talk more about this definitely. We still gotta talk about it as it gets closer to see if there are any more updates. But yeah, that's me right now. My final thoughts on this topic is that I would rather Zhang wait, make the improvements that she needs, and then see about a Rose rematch. Maybe take a fight in between, fight her next year, possibly like 2022, of course, and Carla gets that rematch. I mean, what do y'all think? That's my final thought on that. Like Rose versus Carla in the fall. Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me. Rose versus Carla in the fall, and then um, Whaley fight somebody else. Fight somebody else until then. Mm-mm. Okay. Mr. Lee said, I agree. No immediate rematch for Mr. White. I mean, please, no immediate rematch, please, Mr. White. Yeah, no, yeah, high five. I agree, man. Like, I think Rose should speak up on who she wants to. Like, I haven't heard her speak out enough lately. You know, maybe she's taking the Valentina approach where she's just like, I'll fight anybody, I'll fight any one of them that wants it next. But I think it's on her part too to acknowledge who she wants, so that way the matchmakers can make it happen. If Carla wants it, Rose should acknowledge it hard and say, "Let me get that rematch, and we'll do it." You know, because yeah, they both definitely want to fight her, so they both can't right now in the same year. So they need to make it a little bit easier here. But yeah, like I said, man, I want to see Zhang make some nice, changes mentally and technically as well. I want to see her get right. You know, um, I know that was a minor mistake that was made, but it seems like that one minor mistake it it changed a lot of things mentally, if you will. Like a lot of stuff changed mentally because like all that hard work was thrown out with one kick in the first round in 78 seconds. That will change you mentally. You know what I mean? Because it was like all your hard work went out. Like it makes you question things. Like, am I as good as I thought I was? Like, wow, she destroyed me. You know what I mean? I didn't have a chance. Like, she exposed me this early. So you will have a different mindset. You will have a different mindset. But there's going to be a lot of things, denial, anger. You're going to be pointing the fingers at your team, at the referee, at your opponent. But there's nobody to blame in this situation except you. If you go back and look at it over and over, it's be like it's just a mistake I made. What's that? High five said Rose just want to do something else other than fighting, talking about being active, yet nothing matters. Yet nothing happens. Yeah, I don't know if she's gonna be as active as we think she will. She's got other stuff going. Like when she does one fight, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while. Like I'll be surprised if she does close out the year with a Carla rematch. Honestly, I know it seems logical, like that's what should happen, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that will happen this year. They're moving too slow with this rematch. But yeah, y'all, let me get up out of here. I just want to come on here for about 50 minutes or so, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, we'll talk about it um, again when I get back on sometime this week, and we'll see what kind of moves are being made, and probably actually pull up some footage just to look at some mistakes here that Zhang makes, what Rose makes, and kind of dive more into it. High five said a respectful and responsible champion later door open for any challenge, especially when one is healthy and ready for a quick match. Right. Yeah, that's what I say, man. Like, I think that if she ready, if your opponent's ready, you got to open that door. Say, oh, Carla's been waiting for 7 years. I'm going to give her a shot. Time to give Carla a shot. Give her a shot. You know? Miss Lee said, imagine how Edwards would have felt if Diaz would have knocked him out. I know, right? I almost thought it was going to happen too. That's why I was like, oh, wow. Like, that would be a mental crusher because, yeah, you're winning the fight and you almost get knocked out, man. Imagine you go back and watch that fight. But yeah, man, let me get up out of here, y'all. Like always, shout out to the chat, everybody that came in, comment, and just come in watching. Had like 12 people up in here tonight. That's cool. Just to discuss, the possibilities of this rematch coming. But yeah, just make sure y'all subscribe, and yeah, we'll be back on sometime this weekend. Yeah, or maybe Wednesday or Thursday, because we got to talk about Murata and Jandaroba a little bit more. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaking 99. I'm out. Peace.